Right now, you are still on page 31. Yes, indeed. Okay, so what we did have on here was this, that arrow, right? With speaker, arrow seems like it's moving, but we can't see how it moves. And we did have a cup on there being the receiver, and then we switched that out to an ear, right? And now we know the ear can be the receiver. Good morning. Whose is that? Oh, Tiffany's. Is that from Security?
Yes.
From Security?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet Miss Security, you can hang on the back of your backpack. You don't have to wear it the whole time. I promise I won't run off with it, even though it's very cute. Thank you, Miss Hatfield. You're welcome. You guys know this, Tiffany's new, so she does not, that lady kind of runs the school unofficially, right? Who's been here since kindergarten or first grade? Right. Y'all been in the office enough times to know that's the lady to go to for any question, right? Did you see the blonde lady just came in? That's Hatfield. She knows where everything is around the school. We teachers, when ultimately we have a question, we go to her. The other person we go to is Ms. Parks. That's it. Those are the two people that it takes time. So we're not all rushing Mr. Rhodes. Mr. Williams can handle every single problem. I'm hot. This air going. I'll be out of my shirt and not the sweater. Okay, so we had this arrow that said air seems like it's moving, but we can't see how it moves. And then it seemed like we were just playing with the little spring. But we can replace that with a spring. And we know that that represents energy, right? We have the energy going through it. Energy, not matter. Matter wasn't moving through it, but energy was. Okay. And all I did was just write that on there. I stayed here late last night so I could have that stuff already written up. Yeah, save some time.
I used to feel slippery that left over whenever you take my toys.
Yeah, and you could say, whoops, did that hit you? You should have backed up. Right?
I throw down a staircase.
He's thrown a slinky down a staircase, is what he said. No, he didn't throw his sibling down a staircase. No, that would not be nice.
One time my dog fell down and he was painful.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a picture of this and do like I did yesterday and print this. Because I believe this is what goes on the bottom of your page. And yes, it is. So I'm going to do like I did yesterday, attach this to my computer and print it. And then you guys will be able to copy it unless you want to start copying right there. That's what goes on the bottom of page 31.
So we draw the slinky.
You draw the speaker to the slinky, and then that arrow that says energy, not matter, and then the ear, and the words receiver, cup, receiver, ear, not cup. Vibrates when sound. I did it. It's a modified C. Okay, phone. I need you to come up from here. I can say it's easier than the elephant.
Okay.
It's easier than the elephant and it's easier than the windmill.
What windmill?
The windmill we had to do in second module.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was tough.
Well, y'all had to draw a windmill?
Yes.
Oh.
We had a windmill.
That sounds easy.
Oh no, the windmill was not easy. Windmill was a pain.
Then we had to make it.
Yes, then we had to make the windmill
Oh,
over and
make
over again.
Not like a real windmill.
A
Not
plug-
like
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, like the small.
And it lit up.
Don't see it, we have to do a crane to do it.
Yes, we had to use a fan because we weren't allowed to blow air because, COVID.
Yeah. And it'd be not bad.
That sounds difficult.
It challenged our drawing. Put it that way, right?
Sure.
I don't know because I don't know how to draw circles.
There we go. Thankfully, my printer is starting to pick up the phone faster now. All right, I'm about to have it printed where you guys can all see it under the elbow, okay, guys?
Okay.
Don't put receiver cup, it should be receiver ear, all right? And it does not say co-eardrum. That's supposed to be the inside of the ear, all right? That's not trying to say co-eardrum, that's the inside of the ear, and it says eardrum. Mariah, come in, get your Chromebook.
Done.
Okay.
Cool. I did go to the notebook. Cloud in there.
It's printed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I covered the cloud because you don't need to draw the cloud.
Do we draw this?
Yes, that goes on the bottom of your page 31, I believe it is. Yes. Yes, you need to do the word. Sound source pushes air when it vibrates, receiver, ear, not cup. Vibrates when sound reaches it. You're not writing cup, you're writing ear. And I will make the correction right here. All right, my friends, quiet, please. Mr. Mitas will be back tomorrow. Her son, no, guys, listen, her son was hurt yesterday, so that's why she's saying. He plays baseball and he got hurt in the baseball game. Right now, we're getting this done. Mr. Thomas keeps our classes in order, and that's why we love him as a teacher. It's much better than other subs. Ooh, you can still barely see that.
Is it true that the principal used to be a coach?
Yes, at this school.
My mom told me that.
Yep. Did she go to school here then?
Yeah. He was kind of a bad one. Hey, what?
Do we write too?
Yes, you write the words that are there too.
I'm done.
It's tape runner. So Tiffany, did your whole family move over here? My best friend growing up's name was Tiffany. That's why when I heard that was your name, I was like, and I'll remember that name easily. Kind of like in my homeroom, that student's name that's Colby. I'm like, and I'll remember that name easily.
Oh, because it's fun.
Well, I've taught quite a few Ians. I've only taught one Adrian, and that was for only 1 week, and it was a girl.
Well,
And my son always says, the only Adrians I ever encounter are girls. I'm like, the only student I ever taught named Adrian was a girl.
I call my sister a demon. She slapped me.
Sounds like a sweet sister.
No, she tries to see me. She
Sarcasm.
gets up behind me and pokes me. She's only
I bet you haven't shot it. I mean, Tom and Joey, right?
The little siblings, you have to call them a demon.
I bet you haven't Tom and
My
Joey,
7-year-old younger brother tried to pull out two pieces of my hair.
Oh,
Ow! Yeah. And he was just trying to play around with me.
yeah, Mila yanks my hair a lot. She gets a lot of my hair out.
And then I have a
She's
baby
good at it.
cousin. She tries to eat my hair.
Yeah, Mila doesn't do that. She just yanks my hair out.
My
Yeah, she
my younger cousin, she likes to pull my hair and try to eat it. She tried to eat my phone and my TV remote. Is she okay?
She grabs all these.
She's not even one yet. So it's probably why
She likes this.
My sister broke my TV and I got blamed for it.
All right, who is still copying this?
Me.
Okay.
For some reason, people can't remember the name Edgel, but people can remember other weirder names. People don't remember weirder names, but always ask my dad, how do you spell Edgel?
That's an easy last name.
And his name always says Edgel.
Was?
Lightyear.
This man, have you Tom and Joey, right? Have you Tom and Joey, right?
No, I'm not. Jolie Ray is his little sister's name.
She got her ears pierced on Saturday.
I saw. It's easier when they're babies, so they don't remember it, as long as there's never a problem.
Is it true that boys can get their ears pierced? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody can get their ears pierced as long as they got ears.
Yeah.
You can't get your ear pierced.
All right, who is still doing this now? Okay, hurry up. I'm not the best at replicating it, but do you see how these are bunched up and these are spaced out? That's what I was trying to do with the spring, was show parts of it bunched up and parts of it spaced out.
Well,
I'm hoping that's how you did yours, to show that you can bunch up the springs and you can space out the springs.
you got it, so hold that.
Almost like
Okay, we got to stop all the off talking so that you guys can pay attention and be ready for the quiz.
You got a quiz today? Quiz?
Look up on the board.
conceptual checkpoint.
And instead of being worth 5 points, it's going to be worth 10 points, because I think you guys will do just fine. Your daily grades have been worth 10 to 20 points anyway, so
When are we going to do those?
afterwards, if we have time, hopefully we will.
What are we doing afterwards?
Dirt.
It's testing out different soil sizes and how they filter water.
Those the cups are like big and small.
That's what I just said.
Factory did that last. Is that dirt? It's dirt.
Sand, silt, potting soil. 3 different sizes of soil granules.
Green.
You know, that's the effect of the lighting in here. All right, is anybody still working on this? No? Okay. So there's a question on here that I don't know that we've spent enough time talking about this. It says, where do you think wavelength might fit in the spring model? This is a spring, right? We talked about wavelength. Remember, we were talking amplitude, how tall a wave is, and wavelength from peak to peak. Where do you think wavelength fits into that spring model?
From that one that, from the part of the bunch of right? No,
From here to here?
no,
Here to here?
no.
Here to here?
Right in the middle of
No.
no, the farther apart.
From the bunch
You
of
should do it from the farthest.
I want everybody to hear what Fiona said.
From the bunched up part to the next small one.
So from this to this?
Mhm.
Yes. Wavelength would be from one of these to the next one of these. So right here you have a long wavelength, right? From here to here you have a short wavelength because they're bunched up. Does that make sense?
It's kind of like a pattern.
It is. Where do you think amplitude fits in that? Remember, amplitude was how tall each wave was?
Right there.
We're doing
The
this?
one in the very middle.
Oh, it's going like down and up.
No, the other.
That's amplitude, isn't it? They all have the same amplitude, don't they? So in the spring, all of these have the same amplitude, don't they? There's no different amplitude in the spring, is there? How does this learning about sound connect to what we know about ground vibrations?
Sound creates vibration.
Sound creates vibrations. Does sound go through the ground?
Yeah.
I like that answer. I like the maybe answer. Do vibrations go through the ground?
Yeah.
Do you remember in the video we watched? Tiffany's not seen this video, and I think right now the video would be. I don't know why screen share keeps pausing. The video about elephant, yes. That's why I'm going to pull it up because I think it maybe will help you with our conceptual checkpoint. Okay, quiet, please. My husband watched a whole bunch of pentatonics. I told y'all. Yeah. Holy cow.
Thanks to CuriosityStream for supporting PBS Digital Studios.
Okay, Megan, can you see the elephant video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
A rumble
hold up.
sounds on the African savanna. The
Now
matriarch
I can't.
Now you
urging
can't?
the herd to leave the water.
Yeah, I can.
But the message reaches more than her own kin. Other elephants, too far off for the sound to reach their ears, get the message too, with their feet. A half hour's march away, a rival matriarch directs her own clan to the watering hole now that she knows it's free. A roving, solitary bull starts to move towards the matriarch's call too, hoping to find a mate. Scientists call this seismic communication. It's how the world's largest land animals keep tabs on each other in a place where eyes and ears aren't always enough. With vocal cords 8 times the size of ours, elephants send out 2 types of sound waves at once. There are the high-frequency ones. Those travel quickly through the air and land on the ear. They only go a short distance, about a mile or so. The second are low-frequency waves. They move through the earth and travel much further, at least 5 or 6 miles. When elephants sense one of these low rumbles, they halt and press their heavily padded feet to the ground. That padding A huge ball of fat called a digital cushion spreads out as much as 20%. Dozens of touch receptors in the elephant's foot, called Pacinian corpuscles, pick up these vibrations and send a signal to the brain. But hold up. Is that hearing or is it feeling? Well, it turns out the line between those two senses is pretty fuzzy. Scientists think ground vibrations also travel through the elephant's skeleton, all the way to the ear. That's how feeling becomes hearing. Caitlin O'Connell researches hearing at Stanford University School of...
I want to stop right there. There's a key statement. Hearing becomes feeling and feeling becomes hearing. So, like with Ace, this is going to play a part in your quiz. That's why I'm pulling this up. Ace, who's blind and deaf, he can't hear, he can't see, but he can feel, and that becomes his sense of hearing. Everybody get that? Okay.
Medicine. In a series of experiments in Namibia, she buried speakers in the ground. Then she played common elephant calls to see what would happen. When this herd hears an alarm call played from an above-ground speaker, it means danger is close. They retreat. But when the same call is played underground, they react more slowly. They grow wary and close ranks, but stay put. When the elephants get the message through their feet only, it means the danger is farther away. Even an elephant's footsteps transmit useful information about its size and whereabouts to other elephants. So if you know how to listen, this dramatic landscape hums with signals, and a web of sound holds a whole community together.
They just made a play on words just then. If you know how to listen, this whole community hums with sounds. What do they mean? It vibrates with sounds. I have my back to this shelf. Where are the speakers sitting?
Behind the button.
They're sitting on the shelf. I'm feeling everything that she's saying because what? Vibrations. If I were deaf, I could still interpret what she's saying if I originally knew language. So like if I grew up knowing language and then lost the ability to hear, I would still know what she's saying because I can feel the words through vibration. Okay? Make sense?
Curiosity Stream
Okay.
is a subscription.
The rest of
streaming
it's not going to
service.
help you towards the quiz. Yes.
It's kind of like me and my dad's car. Remember what I told you? Like, I would feel the vibrations
Right.
of my dad's fake music.
Yes. So sound and vibrations in the ground can be sensed, but you can't see them, right? Is that true? Okay. So the other thing I did yesterday after school that was part of lesson 13 was update the anchor chart. So if you look on the anchor chart, everything that's in blue has been updated to it. All right. See the thing with all what I colloquially call words. For an animal to sense vibrations in the ground, energy must travel from a source. In this case, it's the speaker behind me, to an animal's sense receptors. My sense receptors are both my ears and my touch receptors in my skin, because I'm sensing vibrations, right? And our touch receptors include vibratory receptors, deep and like topical, not deep. For an animal to hear a sound, energy must travel from the sound's source to the animal's ear. So for you guys to hear the sound coming out of the speaker, energy must come out of the speaker. Okay. If I had the speaker turned all the way down, there's no energy coming out of the speaker. So you can't hear anything. Sound travels through the air like a spring, moving the air back and forth. So this is how sound moves through the air. It moves the air back and forth. Just like this. But not over a significant distance. So it doesn't move those air particles a long way. They only move a short distance. Just like we saw on this spring that was marked yesterday. Okay, it's not that the tape marks moved a long distance. They didn't, but they did move. They did change position, right? Anybody remember yesterday at all? Do you remember when I had the two boxes and that piece of white showing? I was able to move the taped off mark a foot, maybe 2 feet away from where it originally started. So it did move, but it's not like I moved it clear to the door, right? Does everybody understand that? Okay. So all that is written on that poster. I know everybody in here knows this. Tiffany's new. When you're taking a conceptual checkpoint, Tiffany, everything in the notebook, which for you is like almost nothing, you just got here, everything in the classroom, that's all there for you to use during the quiz. Okay? It's all helpful information. The reason we do it that way is on your LEAP test, they're going to give you in Texas are used to the STAR test. Here we have a LEAP test. Your STAR test was, I forget what all the initials are for, but LEAP test is Louisiana Educational Assessment, and I don't remember what P is, practice or something like that, proficiency. It stands for Louisiana's version of the STAR test. We take that at the end of the month, this month. That's the English and math section. Science and social studies this year is separate. They give it the following week. So if you look back on my calendar, 26th to the 28th, that's math and English. 3 days of math and English LEAP testing. The following week, we take science and social studies. We're the only grade where we have it separated according to subjects. Like 2 different weeks.
We have to take the math and
You have the rest of this week, and then we have 2 full weeks, and then we start LEAP. It's not very much time, is it? No. Yeah. Not much time. Yeah, I know. This year's been a crazy year. Normally, I would get through all my content before we tested. This year, we're not going to. That's why your RTI work is actually that 4th unit, but it's like the 4th unit shortened. It's light. This unit encompasses sound, animals, plants, light. It does all kinds of stuff. That's why I don't want to flip this unit off. I want to give it the whole unit and not flip any of it out because it has so much to it. 4th module was just light. Yeah, it had a lot of stuff to it, but not as much as this 3rd unit, this 3rd module. That's why I want to teach it in its entirety. The only thing we're going to clip out is tomorrow through Friday's lessons. We're supposed to be ones where y'all brought stuff from home and we made up our own experiment. We don't have time for that. So that's getting clipped right out. Unless I can come up with a modified plan for it and it's something that I can teach and we can do it in a day, that would be the only thing I'm going to clip out. Everything else we do, because plants are in this unit, animal modifications, adaptations, everything is in this one module. There's so much in this and it's fun. It's animals. Come on. What I have a college degree in. It would be on, the information would be college level elephant behavior. And I'm like, this is inappropriate for 4th graders. It just, y'all, if I go looking for information on this, the reason you're not going to find other books like this is college level brought down to 7th grade level. I don't think I marked this one, but this I think is 6th or 7th grade level. But this is college and postdoctoral level people researching elephants. Only PhD takes college level stuff and puts it at 4th grade and 5th grade level. They're the only ones to do that. Yeah, it's interesting, but developmentally appropriate, that's debatable. Okay, so to end yesterday's lesson, now that we know more about how sound works, what do we need to know to apply that to elephants and rainstorms? How do we wrap that back to elephants and rainstorms?
Because elephants and rainstorms can feel the vibration. Yeah, they can sense the vibrations.
Okay. So we just need to know how elephants detect sounds, right? We know how sound works. We know how water waves work. Now we just need to know how elephants detect sounds. Because we know the basics of sound now, right? We just need to know about elephant ears, how elephants detect sounds. That's it. We've got all these different pieces to the puzzle. Now we need to put them together. Okay. All right. Lesson 14. We're pulling information from this. So that's where these questions come from. Imagine you had the ears of an elephant. What might you be able to hear that you can't hear with human ears? And when I say ears of an elephant, we're talking African elephant ears. And what do we know about African elephant ears versus Asian elephant ears?
They're bigger.
They're bigger. Asian elephants have little ears. African elephants have big ears. So imagine you had those great big ears of an African elephant. What could you hear? How would your hearing be different compared to us humans?
Sounds from farther away.
Probably.
I have one.
Okay, go ahead, Megan.
The lightest tiptoe.
Probably, because their ears are much bigger funnels than our ears, right?
And if a
We
prey
have
like,
little bitty funnels for our ears, right?
and if a prey like behind you and you don't see him, you could hear him moving.
Prey or predator? Predator. You can definitely hear vibrations better, I would assume, since their ears are much bigger, right? Okay. Do you think if you had an elephant's ears, you could hear something like someone whispering in the next classroom?
You could hear it through the wall.
I bet you could hear through the wall.
Yeah.
What about down the hallway in the school?
Yes.
I bet you'd probably lose your mind trying to interpret sounds from all the different classrooms at one time, right?
They could probably hear the whole school.
It'd probably be overwhelming because there's so much noise in a school at the same
But
time.
how would you get them off the stairs?
How
They would
would-
hate people off the stairs.
They would hate people on stairs. They would not like you guys on the stairs.
What about
They would not like the bell.
They would not like the bell. They would stampede from the bell.
Our ears, they could get them down.
They would
Right.
fall through the floor.
It's hard for our ears.
Okay. Next question. The elephant scientist on page 3 mentions, and the video, low frequency rumbles that rolled through the air. And you guys heard it, those low frequency sounds. How do you think elephants hear those rumbles? Those deep rumbles. They could lean on those front feet, right? So they can get them through vibrations. How else? Use their ears, those great big ears, to hear them, right? Very good answers. Where can we get more information about the sounds that elephants can hear? That book. That book's been pretty scientific so far, right? Or what I always jokingly say, because we know Mr. Williams will say no, we could go to a zoo and talk to a zookeeper.
I've never been to a zoo. See the elephants?
You keep giving me places I want to go, girl. I want to take you places.
I'll take you to I want to go to a planet.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I know. I took my students to the aquarium a few years ago as a field trip. I got special permission to take my students to the aquarium. Everybody had to pay their way for it. Are you serious?
Are you talking to me or your boy? I'll punch it if you want me to.
What is there for fun?
Okay, class.
Yes, yes.
Please stop talking, okay? Want more than one way to skin a cat as the thing goes? I'll try it this way. Okay. Since Caddo Schools bought this curriculum and then blocked the video that goes with the curriculum, I got to go about it a different way. So, different way of getting to the same video. We're going to watch this video and try to find new information from the video. Okay? I'm going to play it twice. Before you watch it, look for information that will help explain the anchor phenomenon that elephants can sense rainstorms from more than 100 miles away. Okay?
Andre Kotz has worked with elephants for 25 years and knows the obvious behaviors that will show the elephants are hearing the infrasound.
Andre, even though these are rescued elephants, do you still see a change in behavior when a thunderstorm's approaching like they would in the wild?
When they hear a thunderstorm, they'll more than likely turn their backsides together, face into the thunderstorm, ears out with a spontaneous freeze. It's as though there's a secret message or something that happens and they just stand still. After the spontaneous freeze, you'll more than likely find that they start chatting amongst each other, low rumbles.
If they respond in that way to our thunderstorm, then that's proof in a way that they can hear a part of the sound spectrum that we can't even
Absolutely, into. Absolutely, without a question of doubt.
Although the speaker is positioned close to the elephants, the infrasound it produces will have the intensity of a distant storm. The herd is busy feeding, so Patrick is looking for a definite change in behavior.
Bruce, I think we're ready to play the speaker.
Okay, Patrick, audio in 2 seconds.
It may seem strange, but because the camper van is generating sounds below our hearing threshold, we can't hear it. But we can certainly see it, as air inside the van vibrates with sound energy. The elephants react immediately, turning to the speaker. They're clearly reacting to the sound, but Patrick can't hear a thing.
That's incredible. They've all stopped and they've changed their behavior as soon as Bruce started playing that sound from the camper van. You can even hear them vocalizing. Their ears fanning out. It's absolutely amazing how it completely changes their behavior. Bruce, it worked.
There's absolutely no question about it, and their ability to determine the direction the sound was coming from, I was really impressed with that.
The elephants are back feeding now, but virtually the entire herd turned and faced our infrasonic speaker, listening in to that secret sound of the storm.
This hidden channel of infrasound could explain a great mystery of the natural world. How elephants know where to go when they migrate vast distances in search of water.
Okay, so again, listen for how, nope.
How that has to do with them knowing when to raise.
Andre Kotz has worked with elephants for 25 years and knows the obvious behaviors that will show the elephants are hearing the infrasound.
Andre, even though these are rescued elephants, do Do you still see a change in behavior when a thunderstorm's approaching like they would in the wild?
When they hear a thunderstorm, they'll more than likely turn their backsides together, face into the thunderstorm, ears out with a spontaneous freeze. It's as though there's a secret message or something that happens and they just stand still. After the spontaneous freeze, you'll more than likely find that they start chatting amongst each other, low rumbles.
If they respond in that way to our thunderstorm, then that's proof in a way that they can hear a part of the sound spectrum that we can't even tap into.
Absolutely, absolutely, without a question of doubt.
Although the speaker is positioned close to the elephants, the infrasound it produces will have the intensity of a distant storm. The herd is busy feeding, so Patrick is looking for a definite change in behavior.
Bruce, I think we're ready to play the speaker.
Okay, Patrick, audio in 2 seconds.
It may seem strange, but because the camper van is generating sounds below our hearing threshold, we can't hear it. But we can certainly see it, as air inside the van vibrates with sound energy. The elephants react immediately, turning to the speaker. They're clearly reacting to the sound, but Patrick can't hear a thing.
That's incredible. They've all stopped and they've changed their behavior as soon as Bruce started playing that sound from the camper van. You can even hear them vocalizing. Their ears fanning out. It's absolutely amazing how it completely changes their behavior. Bruce, it worked.
There's absolutely no question about it, and their ability to determine the direction the sound was coming from, I was really impressed with that.
The elephants are back feeding now, but virtually the entire herd turned and faced our infrasonic speaker, listening in to that secret sound of the storm.
This hidden channel of infrasound could explain a great mystery of the natural world. How elephants know where to go when they migrate vast distances in search of water.
Okay. Stop share.
Until recently, we knew very little about the bug.
Okay. Stop share live image. All right, trying to sign out to potty passes. So what new information did we get from the video?
That they just can't hear it, but they can see it, see the vibration, and
They can see the vibration?
no, they change their attitude.
They change their behavior.
And what corner
They walk towards the sound that we don't even pick up of what?
or a cloud.
Of the thunderstorm cloud, right? I mean, they're actually going towards the clouds
They're just gonna find water. For water. Yeah.
for water.
Yeah.
How bizarre is that, guys? They can actually hear the clouds coming.
They're crazy.
Clouds make noise. That is a pretty crazy thing.
It would be cool if you could like just buy a
Clouds
cloud.
bring noise. We never heard that.
No.
No. Isn't that what the video was saying? The clouds themselves make noise. To us, clouds are quiet, just fluffy things that float by in the sky. But apparently clouds make noise. And that's what the elephants are responding to. The actual clouds.
And cats respond to whispers.
So we talked about this earlier in the module. How many of your dogs respond to a thunderstorm that's coming up?
My dogs are big. It's got even
Mine does. Before it starts raining, the dogs start acting up, right? Ace starts acting up. What is Ace picking up? He's smelling the ozone in the air, and he's picking up the vibrations because he's not hearing anything. Tiffany, did I show you yesterday a picture of who I'm talking about, Ace? No, Tiffany. I've never shown any of you guys a picture of Ace.
Yes, you have.
Is it the dog with the bull that I wanted to hear?
He's the one that looks like a little.
A special dog.
And he's a white one?
Yep, the white one. Okay. Ace. Okay. He's not sad, he's aggressive. He's not sad. His eyes did not develop when he was inside, inside a mom is when got people, dogs, cats, everything develops. His vision, his hearing, all the senses. His eyes did not develop when he was inside his mom, and something about his hearing. The vet didn't say what the hearing deal was. I guess the vet couldn't tell. His ears look perfectly healthy, but he can't hear. But he sure picks up vibration. He can see shadows. So he can see, red is a high contrast color, right? So he can see dark red. He can see shadows, so he can tell when it's dark or light. So that's all he can tell is dark or light, and he can see red.
My dog just hides in my closet, and then it's like.
That one there runs in circles and runs into things with his head. Crumple zone right there, nose. Yeah, the truck, my bed. Yeah, Ace has lots of wrecks with his face. When I looked at the conceptual checkpoint yesterday, I said, oh, the fact that I've mentioned Ace so many times to you guys is going to help you on your conceptual checkpoint today.
You tell us all the time how he feels like
He's special, all right.
He survived.
Yes.
So many of them wrecks.
Why does Ace know who everybody is? Smell. He very much knows who each person is. And he thinks the goats apparently would taste great because he's always trying to nibble on their legs.
Oh, poor goat.
That's funny.
We used to have them in the same yard together, and he kept trying to eat the goats.
I remember that
Parts.
time
Because we thought, oh, that'll make a great pairing. He won't be alone.
I remember that time we were at the pool and the goats got in the pool.
We thought our pet goats were his lunch.
I remember whenever the goats got in the pool.
Yeah. Our goats are for pets, not for food.
Big goats were
Our swimmers, big goats were the ones that did it.
All right, guys, so we have to update this. Why? Why do I spend all this time updating all these things?
Because
You don't know?
I don't know.
What are the purpose of all these? To help you on quizzes and to help with understanding, right? Because I can have it all I like in my teacher manual, but how does that help you? Doesn't help you at all. Yeah, it might help the teacher. Okay, so what have we learned about elephants? What are they picking up? They're picking up sound through the air too, right?
Yeah.
So we know they're picking up energy transfer through the ground.
Miss Vanderbilt,
Yes, ma'am.
do you still have Ava Kincaid?
I do not. She's currently in Mr. Daniel's classroom.
Okay, thank you.
So this guy is, and we know it's, well, no girl, it has no tusks. Picks up vibrations through the ground, but it's also picking up what through the air? Sound. And I'm gonna put, oh, give us my eyelashes? Okay.
That's some tusk.
No, it's a girl, so she will have no tusks.
But have any girl. We got an Asian. We got a girl.
Okay, energy transfer. So we have a cloud. I'm gonna put energy transfer from the cloud to her ear because what kind of energy? Sound.
Infrasound.
Infrasound is
the word to describe sounds that we don't hear. So I'm going to write that on there. Infrasound and regular sound.
It's right there on the board.
Did everybody hear me? What infrasound is?
It's stuff that we can't hear.
Stuff that we can't hear. Infrasound and sound.
Infrasound is like a dog whistle.
The part of the dog whistle that we can't hear.
We can't hear
Now,
some of it.
Tiffany's not heard me do the sound, the part that you guys can hear. So the ears sense sound. Only that we can hear, or sounds that we can't even hear?
Can't even hear.
Ear sense sounds that humans can't hear. It's open. Get your Chromebook, dude.
Hello.
Oh, Blake, let me give you these. These are the potty passes I have written so far. Take these next door. Or I'll be dressed in a minute. I'm gonna represent the sound with a curly Q.
A what?
The spring.
Oh.
Yeah, slinky. I guess it's sticky on the board. Bless you. I'm gonna run out of room. They have so much on this poster.
It's a slinky.
Slinky all the way up to the clouds.
And it's on the elephant's head.
Yep, right on top of the elephant.
Never seen a slinky that long.
6,800 feet in the air.
I have a slinky that this.
All right, guys, touch that, please. I'm gonna fit all these posters on one board.
That's weird.
There's two. All right.
She did it wrong, I think.
No, I got more to add. More back here.
How do you say that?
So
Yeah. Ooh, everything's on that elephant.
that's the anchor chart that goes with sound and water, and some with the animal. Here's the other anchor chart. So I'm gonna add to this anchor chart. So you're literally gonna be surrounded by your charts.
1 million. Can we give this one?
Absolutely.
All the flashing waves.
Yeah, right.
And air. Okay, I need everybody quiet so you can hear this. Energy is transferred from a rainstorm through the ground by waves and air. Okay? As energy moves through the ground, it causes vibrations that we think elephants can sense with their feet. When energy moves through the air and sound, it causes, what do you think vibrates in the elephant?
The feet.
Well, in terms of hearing,
The ear.
what part of the ear?
The eardrum.
Yes, the elephant's eardrum to vibrate, just like us, guys. Our eardrum vibrates. Then it goes back up here. I just love how they keep rearranging this. Maybe their sensory structures have receptors that are specialized to sense rainstorms from more than 100 miles away. Okay?
Oh, we had to add?
That's now 1, 2, 3, 4 posters that have had stuff added to today. Right. Those 3. Yes. Okay. Your number, page number 33. Page number 33. No, 33. Logan, I need you to stop playing around. Got it? Page 33. Here is the question. And I wrote the details below it. It's 10 points. The prompt. Helen Keller was a famous humanitarian. In other words, she did things to make things better for all humans. In 1924, so about 100 years ago, she wrote a letter to the New York Symphony Orchestra to thank them for performing Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Helen was blind and deaf. She had listened to the music by feeling the radio speaker. Draw a model that explains. In other words, you're going to have to use words to describe your model. Just like our 2 models up there have pictures, but they have words that describe the pictures, don't they? So draw a model that explains, one, how Helen Keller could have listened to the symphony, and how members of her family who were not deaf heard the symphony. Be sure to include how the sound was produced, how it traveled, and how it was received by Helen and her family. Okay? You can do her as a stick figure. Okay? Just as an aside, back then, the radio was more like a phonograph. That would be more like how the radio would come out. So sound.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, a microphone attached to a bill.
Sort of, kind of. Okay. I'm going to look up phonograph, see if I can get a better description of
I
it.
know what you're talking about, but I can't explain it that good.
Yeah, I'm going to look up picture of phonograph. Oh, actually, I didn't do too bad.
Can we get a picture back on there?
That's a phonograph.
Don't you?
That's a phonograph. She listened to the symphony, but it says she felt the radio speaker. That's what a radio speaker would have looked like back then. It was a phonograph. Okay.
Isn't a symphony like a song?
No, a symphony is a whole production with a whole bunch of songs. It is asking exactly what's written there. And I just read it out loud to you. This is worth 10 points. 5 of it is your drawing. And I don't mean just drawing the phonograph. You have to draw her, how she is sensing the sound, how her members of her family are sensing the sound, how the sound was produced, how it traveled, how it was received by her and her family.
Can it be a stick, man?
I already answered that question. What is it? What's wrong? You can't read? Go to the office. Can you make it down there? Can you make it to the office? Okay. Thank you. It's written up there. It's written in the prompt. Is there anybody here today who was not here yesterday? Everybody was here yesterday.
Wasn't there more ways she could have heard it? Like, she could have heard it, but like if her family members did sound language.
She was
But
blind.
She was
Oh,
blind.
blind. Oh.
You got to read the whole prompt. Got to pay attention to the whole prompt, okay? Now, I can tell you that I've seen pictures of people signing to her arm, but a symphony has so many notes to it that you wouldn't be able to sign that to her. There's no way to sign all there is to a symphony to her arm. Speaking words, yeah, because you can slow down words. You can't slow down a symphony to that point. Yeah. Guys, take out your old copy passes, put them on your desk while you're testing when we come around, okay?
Yellow.
Any other color other than the current color? Not talking, my friends, okay? You won. When you words to describe down the bottom, okay, it's gonna take quite a bit to describe what's going on. You got some good candy this time? I went to the store myself this time to get it.
I'm really hoping this is not the one like that.
Yeah, it might be rough on it, but I don't think it's as bad as Laffy Taffy.
Jolly Ranchers has pulled out one of my silk bags.
Oh yeah,
It was horrible.
It sticks to your teeth.
I broke my tooth and they put stuff over it, but it's still hurting. And I've been trying not to go because it's like $2,000 to fix it. And I've still got another one I've got to fix. That's $4,000 total. Yeah, I don't have that kind of money sitting around. Not after my cardiology bill from the weekend. Yeah.
My grandpa did have like
So now it's just hurting all the time. So yeah, that's why I warn everybody about those things before you grab them. Because dementia is like Alzheimer's. Correct.
You wish it was back then, you could just give them a quarter and get it done.
Now you need your molars to cheat.
Maybe eat it down. Maybe eat it down.
Yes. Remember, just because she was deaf, it doesn't mean that she was picking up on infrasound like an elephant, okay? It wasn't that.
I didn't say anything about that.
Good. That's exactly what's going on. Remember, explain what's going on, how Helen could hear the symphony and how her family could hear the symphony. Okay?
Can we write that in our alarm somewhere?
And I told you my explanation about ACE would help you on your conceptual checkpoint.
You want us to draw her family?
Yeah.
If you want to. You can draw a bunch of stick figures.
Doesn't matter if they're small or little.
I put a line in the middle.
All right, guys, need to quiet, okay?
I'm sure some local people.
She lost her sight and hearing when she was sick at a year and a half old from measles.
What is that?
Something you get a shot for when you're a year old now.
Oh, what? She got shot for having measles?
No, you need to learn to listen.
Bryson, are you deaf?
No, he just doesn't pay attention. He thinks he's being funny.
I don't like the medicine for it.
She said you get
Insane your tongue.
Like she did not get a shot because people did not get shots for that back then. Now we do. She had a high fever when she was a baby and it took away her ability to see and hear when she was a baby. Deaf is in there. DEAF is in the question.
I saw that.
All right, quiet, please.
Mama, I think you want us to bring it to you.
Yes, please. Her family would include her mom, her dad, a sister, and 2 stepbrothers.
Wait,
Her mom, her dad, a sister, and 2 stepbrothers. She never got married.
Was they older?
I'm gonna text Miss Anderson. Honey, quiet. People are testing.
Because ever since the snowstorms were happening, it damaged the water pipe.
Is it okay if we just draw her mother and daddy?
Yeah, girl, you're
Quiet, please. Hush. Hunter. Here, baby. I'll let you know as soon as she responds to me, okay? Correct. So you need to write on there how they actually heard it. What sensory receptors do other people hear with? Leah, here's yours.
Miss Pam,
Yes.
if Helen was blind, how did she learn how to write?
Braille, feel the number of dots. She was an author. She actually wrote books. Very smart. She was a motivational speaker. Very smart, very determined. And considering she lived at a time when women were just gaining the right to vote, that meant she was very strong-willed too. My kind of woman. She did not take no for an answer. Yes, you may. What's that? I do. I do have an RTI packet. It is on Science Canvas. And now I can actually make a copy. Whoa, that does not sound good. No, it was Logan's. Logan made a 10 out of 10. Leah made an 8 out of 10. All right, I need quiet. Quiet, please.
Teachers and students, excuse this interruption. We are fixing to perform a fire drill. So this is a fire drill, so we need to follow the fire drill procedures. Thank you.
Anna? Go to the left.
More Ricardo. Discoveries, my friends, you guys need to pack up unless you've not finished your test. In that case, try to get it done because you have a couple minutes until it's time to go. No, no, it's light electromagnetic spectrum. Tiffany, you go there. Read the bottom. Logan, hush. Kaylee, stop ripping off the corner. Also, Kaylee, I need the corner of your notebook. I'll do that. Also need you to take the quiz from Friday. It's on campus. You haven't taken it yet. All right, my friends, let's line up. Kaylee, here's your notebook. Discovery. You have to ask your Joanna, okay. I guess you want to pick up that candy wrapper. I need the talking to stop. Talking to stop. It's all I know is one, right? Spin around. Let's go. Share.